It's time for game number 2 between the epic Canadian or American, I forget, Terran player Moxie Legend and his opponent.
It's going to be a European, I don't know which country it's from, my favorite Terran player in Stabo, playing as Zerk, Dirtybag.
He's Swedish, actually. There's a lot of Swedish players. You got Dirtybag, you got Muralt is Swedish, Moro, of course, and the creator of Starbo, Kibel, is also Swedish.
It's it's a very esports loving country.
It's really weird how Starbo, which is like, I don't know, Starbo to me feels like something that could have been produced in Korea. You know what I mean? Like, some Brood War fans that are disappointed with StarCraft 2 make Starbo in Korea, I could see that happening. But it's mostly Scandinavians who made it, which is so weird. It's just so weird. But it's cool. So, again, Moxie Legend doing this crazy build that only works versus Dirtybag, where you go for an in-base, a supply depot that doesn't wall off anything, and then you just slap a command center on the low ground at 14 CC, and you know you're safe because you're playing versus a guy who's never going to go pool first.
Yeah, that's when you play each other so damn often, you know what to expect from your opponent.
Yeah.
Like what his preferences of playstyle are, and what isn't. And yeah, that's just how the Stabo community is, or was, I should rather say.
Yeah, it really was, because there's so many new players now doing so many weird things that I'm not gonna say that the metagame is changing, because it's just basically people trying to learn, and I think some of these strategies that the top players are doing are still the best ones. But it's gonna be interesting to see what happens when some of these players are starting to become better.
I've heard there's a Terran player in the ladder, some Luxembourgish dude who continues to play Bio in every matchup.
He continues to play Bio. I didn't know that. And he's A rank, so that's not bad. The co-caster here is Kalevi, aka Alpha Squad. The guy who informed you that he radiated 75 energy just a couple of minutes ago. So we have spawning pool. This spawning pool also is like greedy-ish. It's like 14 or 15. It's not like a 12 pool. Which is something I would do, but it doesn't. Nah.
I mean, he did see the fast command center pretty quickly.
There's no point with a really fast.
He could have actually just put down a third hatchery before the spawning pool. That would also not have been too terrible of a decision.
I've started doing that myself. It's like what TRB started doing, and what you can do with that, it's actually quite insane. Like the number of like your mutas are going to be later, but you can just make so much stuff in general. You just feel like you can just produce and produce and produce, because you get so many workers. It's actually really good to have that really early third in your main, by the way.
Yep. To compensate for the earlier mutas, you can just skip. For the later mutas, you could just skip the first queen. Yeah. Because you have so many hatcheries that you can just produce 2 at a time.
Yeah, my queens get really late when I go for that build, obviously, and I usually only make 1. So like that drone actually survived.
I like that. I like that pure Brood War openings don't work as well in Stabo. Like you still have these kinda optimized builds just for Stabo.
Yes, I enjoy that too. It also makes it, because one thing okay, this kind of sounds like a little bit of elitist, but I really kind of don't like it when you have these really good Brood War players playing Starbo, and they just beat if they would beat like absolutely everyone just by doing Brood War builds and not even thinking about that they are playing Starbo, that would be kind of bad, I feel, because it's supposed to be a game where you have to learn something. So so the fact that like Dirtybag could potentially beat Bisu if he tried Starbo for the very first time, because he didn't know exactly how Chrono Boost worked and stuff like that, is interesting. I'm not saying that would actually happen, that was a scenario.
Because he didn't know the Merc existed.
No, that wouldn't make much of a difference, sadly.
So, yeah, but we don't see a fast third, so all this discussion is not, doesn't actually comment the game.
No,
It's just we're going to see a fast 2-edge mutalisk play from
and this is
from Moxie.
Exactly the same. Sorry, I'm just gonna say this because this is exactly the same we saw last game. Very fast muta. Oh, actually, this is faster. His Spire completed at 7:30 last time. It's gonna be about the same time.
Yep, and since he has basically only got his fast mutalisks and only build drones, and he's just now getting his points just to prepare for a counter attack that might occur. It's pretty light on defense still, but he's basically counting on all these mutalisks to give him the map presence he needs and to do the damage he needs to expand to a third, because his main is heavily oversaturated.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, he's getting a nice number of workers here on both bases, actually. And meanwhile, Moxie is actually going to have +1 prepared. So Moxie is just going to push right now, and this is the perfect... We have to talk about this, because playing Terran versus Zerg, if you don't know what you're doing, it's really, really hard. Because this timing that Moxie has now is quite interesting, because you kind of want to push out a little bit before the mutas come out, so that the mutas actually have to fight Marines out in the open, and not in the base where they can abuse all the structures and high ground and everything. But it was a little bit late. The mutas are already here.
Oh,
now the
perfect turret timing in the mineral line.
Oh wow. Well, that one wasn't that perfect. But the turret timings of Moxie was really good last game. They came a little bit earlier this time, so he was a little bit later on the turrets. And Dirtybag put some decent engagement. Oh, now he's got to be careful. Oh, loses a mutalisk. That's unfortunate.
So you will notice that these Marines will have a very hard time fending these mutalisks off, just because range isn't done yet. As soon as range is done, Dirtybag will... Moxie Legend, I'm sorry. Moxie Legend will have a very easier time to deal with these mutalisks.
Indeed, and we see, meanwhile, Dirtybag is taking a third base. Oh, that bunker's empty! He can just try and pick it up. Oh, he's actually going to get salvaged. That's the way to... That's the counter micro to an empty bunker being picked up. Quickly salvage it. It's like a Blizzard counter micro where you just have to press a button. That sucks. But Dirtybag is getting a third, and he's getting Lurker technology at the same time, so he should be fine.
What? I like how Moxie Legend is playing. Oh wow, that's actually really interesting. Look at the top left.
There's a Ghost Academy.
There's a Ghost Academy.
The Ghost Academy.
That's actually pretty interesting. Because I was about to argue, like, I don't like that Moxie Legend's attack is a little bit late, especially if you're facing mutalisks. Although Dirtybag, for some reason, like, he just built the initial mutalisks, and now he stops producing them. He's basically all tech switching to something else. Actually, really fast hive. As soon as the Viper's Nest finished, he's getting his hive. He has 6 lurkers on the way, and I think, yeah, the mutalisks have done what they could.
Here we go. We're gonna have a Ghost on the way. We have a Ghost Academy factory on the way, which means that he can add a nuke. And I've seen Moxie Legend do this before. He basically wants to nuke the natural of Dirtybag, because Dirtybag is in a state right now where he wants to play very defensive and just defend all the bases he's got. Defend his hive, which is unfortunately going up at the natural. So if Moxie Legend succeeds with his plan, he's not only going to break the natural, he's going to kill the hive tech too, which is actually incredibly important for Dirtybag to keep alive. Nuke is on the way.
It's actually pretty interesting that nukes comes that much earlier in Starbow compared to Brutoir.
Yeah.
And what's even more interesting is that it isn't broken because you can move static defense. Like,
yeah. You can move the spine crawlers and the lurkers, but there's a risk to that as well, because then the Marines can just stim and go and you can cancel the nuke. So it's all an interesting dynamic. You're completely right. That is actually very interesting. Now the Ghost stayed alive. Ooh, and it's gonna actually separate a little bit. If he moved the mutas back, he might be able to snipe the Ghost. But here we go. There's the first nuking coming.
Nukes behind the spine cross.
Oh,
that's actually very interesting.
That is very interesting. That's actually a perfect nuke, because yes, he has to retreat, but he has to retreat really far now. Oh, but the nuke is coming, and he needs to start another nuke. I think. Oh, yeah, it's gonna damage a lot of them. Yes.
And he should build the next one, and he will break this. At the, he will come to the natural. So it's actually like a very cost. I don't know how to explain that, but like, imagine if he had siege tanks in this position. It's kind of similar.
Yeah, it's just like one nuke is equal to a lot of siege tanks. Oh, lurkers are doing some damage.
Yeah.
Oh, is he? No, he doesn't want to go for it. He has been adding on reinforcements. Where's the? Did that Ghost die? No, where is it? There it is.
No, it's in the middle. It's safely protected, heavily guarded.
So it's gonna.
Oh, he snipes the spine crawler. He may get another one. Nice.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so the nuke is almost complete. It's gonna be complete in like 5. There we go.
I like how Moxie Legend plays this out. Plays this very smartly. He actually adds a couple of siege tanks to this. He has another nuke
Oh, he sends in the medic first to see where it is. Now he needs to protect this ghost. Oh, here comes the Mutalisks.
Also, his drones are a little bit exposed. Oh no, the Mutalisks! The Mutalisks have to get out of there. Okay.
Oh, the nuke is actually going to land. He's not going to try and snipe it. And he breaks it, but he saves all of the lurkers. But now Moxie Legend moves in, and oh, and the hive is so exposed.
I killed the hive. Very, very nice. Very nice, clean timing.
Oh, and here comes the lurkers.
Yeah, he will most likely break this. He will most likely also get the hive. Although the scan runs out, but he kills so many drones, he will.
He can pull back and snipe the hive, I think. And here comes a ton of Zerglings, though. Is he going to move down with this? Okay, here comes the Zerglings and the lurkers at the same time. I don't think it's enough, though.
Yeah.
Is there another scan, though?
Oh, gets the ghost.
Oh, that's nice. Well, there were no more nukes on the way. Anyway. But this is actually unfortunate. Moxie is not going to be able to snipe this hive. Okay, he has another scan, but oh, here comes a lot of lurkers. They're just going to clean this up.
Oh, if he doesn't get the hive, that's actually really, really insane.
Wow.
Mad. Ah, you killed all my drones. Okay. Kind of like the StarCraft's queen. Like when
yes.
they also enrage like that.
So look at that. He actually defended a very smart push there.
But as so many casters have said, at what cost? If you look at the income tab, actually it's not that far behind. Wow.
No, and it's this is actually turning in fairly even. Like the supplies of Dirtybag is far behind, but the workers he's doing fine. He just doesn't have that much army, so he can't really
much lurkers. That was a very bad move out from.
Oh, and now he has siege tanks, and those should be able to break whatever is here. And there's nothing here. There's nothing to break. He didn't even need siege tanks.
I don't think he can rescue himself the second time.
No, this is going to be difficult. There's a lot of scourges coming for whatever reason. I guess, of course, to kill science missiles.
So, Moxie Legend kind of reminds me of Boxer. I remember a very similar situation. But he used a nuke to get to nuke the third from the Zerg. So.
Oh, very nice. So he's gonna try and snipe the hive. Oh, I think he knows that he can get it anyway. So there we go.
This game is basically over.
Yeah, I think so too. I like the fact that Moxie did not siege up his siege tanks because he actually scanned first and saw there were no spines or lurkers. There was no point actually sieging them up. He could just move straight in there, and I think that's a good decision because a lot of people just automatically siege them up because they're so used to do that. But this is a good place to siege up. He's got control of this very choky ramp that is good for Zerg at some point, but right now it's kind of working against him. And also the Scourn might go down, and yeah, this is very hard.
You know you're in a horrible situation when you are supply stuck at 14.
GG, and Moxie Legend evens up the series 1-1, and we're gonna go to game 3.
So when was this from the cup?
No, this is just, they just played, Moxie Legend was like, hey, I want to stream a best of 3.